What's going on, everybody? So today, what we're going to be doing is a continuation on the easy hack for drop chords video that everybody seems to love so much. But this time, I'm going to use it for in a song instead, or use it, to show you different places where you can sort of, go out a little bit, or you can spice things up a little bit. And so we're going to use that same principle. So just as a recap, what I did for that last video was I took a B flat 9 chord. So I had the 5th right here, the 9th, which would be C, the flat 7, which would be A flat, and then the 3rd, which would be D. And in my pedal, I'm playing B flat. Now, the whole point of that video was to show that you can use the different chord tones of the chord that you're playing, in this case B flat 9, and you can come up, it'll sound different when you play that in the bass. All right, and you can kind of spice things up just with that simple adjustment. So I put the 3rd in the bass, so the 3rd will be D, right, I move that, and then the 5th in the bass, right. So now for this particular one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an F7, right? So now in that progression, because I'm going to be doing Always Remember, and so I'm just going to show you what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to fit it in there, all right, from the jump. So I'm taking this F7 chord, right? So F7, F dominant 7, which would be this. It would be F, right, the root. Now I'm putting a 13 in there, all right? So the 13th, the 13th is this. So if I'm going, so if F is my root, G is the 2, A is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right, which would be the octave. The 9th, which would be G. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. So the 13th is just, it's really the 6th, all right? But if we're using the, from the root, right, and we keep going up an octave, everything else is called an extension. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which would be the octave. We're going to keep going 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, okay? So that's why it's the 13th. So playing 13th, 3rd, flat 7, right? And F in the, all right. So, but what I'm going to do is, right? All right. So, all right, a lot of y'all heard that progression before. All right. So that first chord before I, go back to slide back into the F7 would be, it would just be an E flat triad, but I still have the F in the bass, okay? So G, E flat, B flat, and E on the bottom. So, all right. All right, so I'm going to use this in a 2/5, and I'm not going to be going into tempo, as at the end of Always Remember. So here is the crux of what I'm going to show you. So just like on that easy hack, right? So instead of playing the root, we're going to do the 5th. All right. So what does it sound like when I put the 5th in the bass? And so what is the 5th of F? C. So I'm going to put that in the bass. You see that? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move up by minor thirds, okay? So that means I'm going to be doing F7, right? I go up a minor third to A flat. Then I'm going to go to B, right? Back to A flat, back to F. All right? So it's going to sound like this. So I want to do it in the root position first. Now, you see what I just did there, right? So, and this is for those of you that don't know. All right, let me explain. This is on the Always Keep Them on Your Mind. Okay, so Jesus, Jesus. We have the right. right, so now what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna put the fifth in the bass. So instead of F, right, because it's F7, A flat 7, B7, A flat 7, to the F7, back to F7. Well, those are the roots. So what will be the fifth? Well, the fifth of F is C. Fifth of A flat, all right, is E flat. Fifth of B is F sharp. Back down to E flat, back down to. So I'm using the same chord. All right. Then. All right. So now let's put that fifth in the bass. So all I did right there was I switched the bass, all right? Just like in the other video, okay? So here we go. So, and it sounds like a totally different chord, right? Sounds like a totally different. So once again. Back to the 2, all right? Because we went out, now we went back in. Always keep him on your mind. All right, so now, real quick, so let's try it once again. Let's try it. Let's see if we can't try it with the third. So which would be A, right? So A would be the third of F. C would be the third of A flat. E flat or D sharp would be the third of B, okay? So it's still moving in that same vein. So now let's try it with the third, okay? So the third, all thirds would be A, because that's the third of F. C, which would be the third of A flat. D sharp or E flat, which would be the third of B. So A in the bass. C. Back to that right there, back to the original 2. All right. So then what we can also do is we can also mix and match. So let's say I don't want to just go. So let's say I want to, just play around with the bass in terms of, with each chord. So let's say I wanted to play the third for the F chord, maybe the fifth of the A flat chord, which would be E flat. And then let's see, and I can just stay on the E flat because that's the third of B flat. So let's try it. So you can mix and match and do different things. The key is you want to be able to know, or have a good knowledge of, your intervals and what's the third of what and things like that. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get into the song. So now we're gonna go. Person's praying, right? So we turn it down. Here's where we come in. All right, so they're praying. Right? Right. They're going to come with the amen. So and that was at the very end, but that was just to try to show you where you can fit that in, okay? So even at the end of a song, you can always sort of sneak things in there like that, all right? So that is, yeah, that's pretty much it, all right? So So there you have it. So yeah, it's on a small part of, like, of the song, and it's at the end, but I was trying to do it to just show you some context of where you could fit it in. You could fit it into any, so many other songs, and it doesn't have to be in that, that minor third pattern, right? It can, here again, just be a different bass for the chord that you're playing. All right. But I'm just showing you just the different things that you can do with that concept. All right. All right. All right. So that's what I wanted to show. All right. So it was on like the very end of the, of the song. I get that, but I just wanted to put it in some context, that you can take that same concept and you can put it in actual songs, or you could sneak it in to other places. And, it doesn't have to go by the minor thirds, right? I mean, listen, sounds great. Or, right? Sounds great, right? Right? It sounds great. Because and then what that does is that kind of catapults you into, doing other things, and it now starts to make your regular chords sound better now, like when you go back in, right? And so it just, like I said, it keeps things fresh. It kind of opens up your mind when you could just sneak things in there like that. All right, so let me do that movement one more time. Like I said, so I'm going from F7, A flat 7, B7, A flat 7, back to F7, okay? And then I'm gonna play the root when I get back to that F7, all right? But I'm gonna use the fifth in the bass. So it'll be C, E flat, F sharp. There we go. All right, so there we go. All right, so I'll see y'all on the next time.